TikTok Live puts you into fucking people's feeds while you're on. So on Instagram, you go on, it pings all your users and a certain percentage comes over and then it declines. For me, it's like 2,000 come on right away. And then 5 minutes later from yapping, I look up in the corner, it's 800. It declines because my crew gets pinged, they check it out. They're like, I don't give a fuck what Gary's doing, they're out. TikTok, you go on, it pings, that's right. You start, you look over, there's 600, and then you look an hour later, you weren't even doing anything proper, and there's 4,000 people there. And here's the big thing I'm saying to you three, and obviously I'm saying it for everyone at home. Attention is the #1 asset. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Podcasts with Friends. I've got 3 phenomenal friends in the building. Most of all, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody on Twitch that is watching this podcast live right now. I will be glancing over and trying to incorporate you into the show. If you're listening at home on the treadmill or a couple days later, whenever we post this, make sure you go to twitch.tv/GaryVee, subscribe up. Big shout out to everybody who's about to give some subscribes, gift subs and all that. And so I'm excited to be here. We're gonna go around the horn and say hello first of all. And so why don't all 3 of you fine gentlemen take 2-3 minutes on not only who you are, but why don't you tell the Vayner Nation that's tuned in and obviously everybody listening at home a little bit about who you are. So let's start with you, Breezy.
Hello, I'm Kevin Spees. I'm known on the internet as Grill Guy. I do no grilling. Yeah, that's what I do. Originally, I was an educator. I actually know Brandon from a past work experience.
I love that.
John Dewey High School.
Yeah.
Pass fail, baby. It's the only way I got through high school. Pass fail.
Pass fail,
So
baby.
I was a basketball coach and teacher at John Dewey High School in Brooklyn.
Love.
He graciously donated a scoreboard to our team and was a graduation speaker. So. Yeah. We got to chop it up a few
It's a
years
very
back.
East Coast show. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens.
And then speaking of Queens, I was a coach at York College in Queens for a little bit. Yeah.
That's near me. That's right down the block. That's in Jamaica. Right near me. Yeah.
And then started coaching in New Jersey and moved out to New Jersey, had a son, and during paternity leave just started.
What part of Jersey?
I'm in Scotch Plains.
Oh, I know it super well. My dad's first liquor store was in Clark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Union Catholic.
Yes, right down the street.
Yeah.
I grew up in Edison.
Okay,
Super close.
So we all know the same spots.
This is a very Jersey dude show. So you better New York tri-state. You better really settle the fuck in, everyone, because it's about to happen. So so it was during the paternity leave, you're like, fuck it, let me make videos.
Kind of. Actually, I had a friend who works at a media company called Doing Things Media. Mm-hmm. And they said, hey, we have this idea for a millennial dad grilling show. Yep. Like, would you want to do it? I said, sure, I'll give it a shot. And I was really bad at it.
As one does.
Yeah, I was really, really bad at it. I was on paternity leave, so let me try it. I started making skits, 30-second skits, minute skits with my phone and like a $15 tripod, which I still use. And slowly but surely over time, it hit. Yeah. There wasn't like a one day that like really,
of course not.
Yeah, it took time and now I do it full time. I'm no longer teaching, no longer coaching. I miss it a lot.
And what's the handle that everyone can find you on?
Grill Guy, at Grill Guy _ on TikTok.
Grill Guy.
Grill Guy.
That hurts you, right? That underscore fucks with you.
Yeah, it messes with me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I got to pay, but eventually I'm sure they'll bang me for money. Yeah, let me know.
Good segue,
Can
Brandon.
you cover it for me?
Why don't you tell the youngsters about this? This is an OG legend, everyone. Pay your fucking respects in the
Thank
chat.
you, sir. Well, I appreciate it.
Good to see you again.
I'm still grinding, and
that's all you know.
I still wake up broke.
Still working.
Right.
Yeah, still working. Love the work.
What we do.
All right, if somebody comes to my office again and asks me when the fuck I'm retiring, I'm gonna be really pissed.
You're gonna die at your desk,
disrespectful.
right?
I'm like, I retire when I'm ready.
Are you gonna die at your desk, or are you gonna retire?
I want to get home first before. I'm not gonna. I worry about the dying at the desk. That would be troublesome.
That's the slang term from. Do you think you'll work?
No, I get it. I'm gonna work. Yeah, I'm going to the end. Yeah,
me too.
I'm gonna work. I'm gonna
like
negotiate my burial.
It's my hobby.
Yeah, I'm negotiating everything, and I'm already working with the man upstairs trying to get that squared away. Because there's a lot of work to be done. I think the first thing is like, Gary, first of all, thanks for having me. And I'm not at Steiner anymore, which is so crazy. I know. And we were just having dinner, and I remember you saying, "Brand, your name, it's bigger than any of it. Don't worry about it. Like whatever way it goes, don't forget you got your name. You're never going to lose it." And it's hard to be not at Steiner, but so I love that the Steiner thing's still living on. But I came up with something better, which I remember at dinner I was telling you about, and I put it in a play. And collectibleexchange.com is like this marketplace. I realized there was a lot of older people like me that have a shitload of stuff and they don't know what to do with it. So now we have like 150,000 items on there. I don't think I had more than 35 at Steiner. And I bought Star Stock. You're a fan of Star Stock.
Yep.
I got to get in the trading card game. So and what's great about the trading cards, like I'm a crazy collector. Obviously, I have a lot of issues, but I wasn't like a trading card like guru. I'm a collectible deep into it. And now, like, I'm learning from all these kids that are coming at me, like, Star Stock should be this, Star Stock should be that. I'm in a position, though, to make it into that.
I love it.
So I think you can never not listen to your customers. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm loving the collectible business. I'm loving that there's so many young kids in this game.
Yeah.
And I love when I hear from them. And I love the diversity of the product I'm able to carry now. So one more thing is, you're not going to believe this shit, but this weekend I'm opening up my first show with eBay Live.
Let's go.
I'm doing a regular show
Congrats.
3 times a week. I went to them. I wanted to be like an educator. Obviously, I'm always going to be selling some shit, but I'm going to be an educator. I want to tell people about the ins and outs of this business, what to look out for, what do you get graded, what you don't get graded, what to get authenticated. There's a lot of people that just don't know, and they have a lot of stuff they're embarrassed. So they give me this opportunity, putting a lot of money behind it.
Good for you.
Very grateful for eBay to give me this opportunity.
eBay's iconic.
Shout out to eBay.
Yeah.
2
Shout out.
iconic people coming together. Brandon Steiner.
Thank
Steiner
you.
Sports was iconic in you know, and especially that Yankee run was so legend. You'd be like, I'm like, oh, I got to get the dirt from Yankee. You were selling everything just as a
I
great
think I
hustler.
just got that as a
I
as
gave him a
gift.
pen, by the way. This is like my You Gotta Have Balls pen for my book, and it has the actual dirt from the
me see
last
this. Wait a
game
minute, this is what
at
I wanted.
Yankee
My gift to you.
Stadium.
You can have it. It's all yours.
So I'll give you another one.
No, it's cool.
But I went into.
Gary needs it.
I'll give you one.
Okay, bro.
I'm
We
hooking
go.
up. So anyway, Mariano at the last game, he's carrying out this dirt. He gave me half of it, and I filled that up with that. So you got a little
That's
Mariano.
Guy's
It's
a
little
genius.
special of the closer. I'm sending you some shit.
Zenny, what do you got for us?
Yeah.
I'm Zeddy Will, entertainer, artist now. I'm from Queensbridge, New York. I'm 22 years old. I started this entertainment comedy stuff back during COVID. When there was nothing to do, I'm just in the house making videos. Had a first video go viral, hit 1 million views, and from then on, I'm just doing
You were
skits.
addicted, right?
I was addicted.
When that
It's
hit?
like, because I'm in the house, I don't got nothing to do. I'm in the crib, I'm making videos, everybody's loving it. It's getting millions of views. And then, I end up getting 2 million, 3 million now. I've amassed like 12 million followers overall.
Sheesh.
And now, right now we get into the music stuff. I got a song called Cha Cha out. It's going viral. They love it on TikTok.
popping.
It's crazy.
You don't like to dance? Come on, do the cha-cha. I gotta teach you how to dance too before we get out of here. And I had another song called Freak You, it blew up. So right now I'm just getting into my music stuff and keeping the comedy alive. And I'm getting a lot of comparisons like Will Smith on the entertainment side, and on the rap side they calling me like Eminem. And I'm just having fun with it. I'm just living in the
Did you
moment.
just say here you're a mix between Will Smith and Eminem?
Eminem, that's a crazy mixture, right?
I get it.
I'm telling you, but
like it.
like when you hear the freestyles, when you hear me rapping, and then as the podcast goes on, you get to see more of my personality. I'm a vibe. I just be chilling. I'm
And a
young guy.
hooper, I think.
I hoop too.
I seen you
Gary,
hoop
I be
too.
dunking on him. I'm trying to tell you.
I see you're
I go-
lanky as fuck, bro.
I go, hey,
I see it.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
need
I'd be
you
stunned
over
if
at my
you-
house to play,
Bro,
man.
I got
got
you.
my
This
weekend.
guy does it. My brother
Yeah.
plays at.
You be
Princess-
hooping?
AJ, at the full
Yeah.
court. We got
I'm
full
with
court
it.
Oh, we
run.
can do that.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
going.
Indoors.
I'd be stunned if you didn't have hops. You look lanky,
Yeah.
lanky.
Oh, yeah, I'm
athletic
6'3".
as shit. Yeah, you look.
Yeah.
I'm
hard.
hoping.
All right, let's go to a different
I'm
direction.
recruiting you.
Boys, let's go vulnerable from the top. What's the thing that you're most struggling with? Real talk, no bullshit. Right now, we're all in very different life cycles. What Rose? What is like the thing? If we were like best friends and like we had dinner tonight and we hadn't caught up in 100 days, and I started with, because there's a lot of people watching right now, and like a lot of them would like to have the things that have happened to the four of us happen. And they'll only see it went viral. It was so
Right.
easy. He just made a couple videos, or well, they did it for a long time. That seems too hard. I don't want to take 10 years, 20 years to build. We grew up in a world that didn't exist. Like, these guys were able to have quick moments, and then they had to build something. For us, it was the reverse. We had to build something for a long time, and then you got your moment. So the world's moving. There's a lot going on. Like, in a real way, I feel like this podcast with friends is like people really having a real conversation, especially with like making new acquaintances and strangers. So if I said to you, like, what's the thing that you're most struggling with right now? What is it?
Genuinely, it's balancing having a second kid.
Yeah.
I have, blessed 2 healthy kids.
Of course.
The best out of all the things I've done in my life, and I've done some really cool things and had some difficult times, without question, being a father is the best thing I've ever experienced. I think it's peak life. I don't think there's anything better than being a father. It's also difficult. It also takes tolls on other areas of life. And so having 0 to 1, you're ready for it. You're like, oh, we're having a baby. Cool. That's all you're worried about is the one baby. Then that baby is a toddler.
Yes.
And then that has its own challenges. And then you're trying to bring in a second life. So it's like,
little
it's
kids,
a struggle.
little
Yeah.
problems, big kids, big problems.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with the OGs, and they've got 40-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And you never stop being a parent.
Yeah.
When your 59-year-old child has a problem and you're 83, it's fucking you up because they're still your fucking child.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and so you're also in a tricky spot.
Yeah.
You have more opportunity than you've ever had professionally. You're a young man.
Youngish. I'm 36.
You're a young man.
Thank
Brandon,
you.
these fucking kids. You're a young man.
Yeah.
You've got nothing but opportunity to build in front of
Yeah.
you. You as a human have those feelings,
Yeah.
but you've got these other things brewing that are the most important things in life.
And also-
how do you make it all go?
And also feel at the same time so lucky that I'm able to say that the thing I'm worried about right now is balancing 2 kids. You know,
Yeah, you're grateful.
I'm super grateful. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor, so that
you're
gives me
really actually
perspective.
grateful.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
dope.
Yeah,
That's
it was
dope.
testicular though, so RIP to the left one.
Yep.
But still got the right one.
The right one's the one you need.
That's the only one I need. It got me the kids. But yeah, so I definitely feel grateful that that's the biggest thing going on in my life. But it's
still
a
your thing.
Yeah, it's my thing. So,
Everybody's got their thing.
yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
this is why I always tell people do not envy people that you think have it so great. LeBron and Jay-Z right now are worried about something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's something they're worried about that's way more challenging than what you're dealing with. They may have fame and fortune, but they might have heard someone that they love the most in the world was diagnosed with not something they were able to win like you were, something they can't win. And it's a wrap. And I promise you, they're more upset today than you are because you're worried about maybe not having money to get some stuff. But if you have literally people not leaning into simplicity is unfortunate because when you lean into simplicity, you're good.
Yeah.
So you're actually in a great spot. You're just trying to find balance right now.
I'm in a great spot. I'm trying to find balancing, your relationship with your wife also with having new kids,
Of course.
and try not to be at each other's necks too many times. So I'm lucky to have
And
a
it
great
changes that
supportive
relationship.
wife. Yeah, it does.
There's new dynamics that weren't there before.
Yeah. Yes. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to experience
through.
something new. Yeah. So I'm grateful for it.
Brandon?
You know what's interesting is my wife has done such a great job with our kids. One of my biggest struggles is our kids don't need us.
Of course.
Oh man.
It's unbelievable.
the
one
best.
minute you can't breathe, you can't get them out of your bed, you can't, you're smothered with them, and the next thing you know is you're begging, and you got to go to these luxurious vacations just to get them for a week to hang out with them, and it's troublesome more for my wife than me. I tell my wife, you want to help the kids, stop helping them. They don't want your help. What kid really wants help from their parents? They want to do it on their own. And that's exactly how we raised our kids. And that's exactly how they're doing it. And sometimes it's hurtful, when you don't hear from your kid now. Or they're doing so well on their own.
Empty nest shit is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
I remember when my younger brother AJ, who's 11 years younger than me, went away to college, and I wasn't expecting this because I was he was 18, I was 29. This wasn't on my radar. I just started realizing my mom is the happiest, most optimistic. And AJ went to school, and I was like, my mom was weird. And I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, that's when I learned what empty nests, she loved being a mom so much. It was her destiny. She is the greatest of all time at it. She was sad as fuck that year.
Yeah.
That was what she loved doing for the last 30 years.
And that's like parenthood in a nutshell, isn't it? It's
what I would say to the young ones out there, and that is, if I was going to throw something out there and say, listen, I know parents are paying the ass, but
Brandon, I apologize. N8 Best just said, where did Gary get that hat? I've got crazy hats coming from VeeFriends. This is Ambitious Angel hat.
I love it. Oh, that's cool.
What material is that?
Where do you get that hat?
Nice.
Honestly, Brandon, it's so hard to get.
Is it?
You should be wearing it. You should be allowed to wear that.
No, I really figured it out.
Oh.
I'm making so few of them. Is it? Grab
That's
those
not
behind
right,
me.
man.
No, this is very good. You got it, Eddie? I'm so excited about this, Brandon. I finally have made a cool product. Because I've made products,
tough.
but I finally actually did it. Actually. So anyway, I'm gonna slowly but surely trickle these.
Tough.
I'm so happy right now.
That's cool.
Anyway, go ahead.
You got flavor.
That was
My
just
goal,
quick.
I was going to say to send out there to the young kids is like, look, parents are a pain in the ass, but they ain't always going to be around. Like you know, you got to sacrifice, and you know, something you give let your parents help you a little bit. It gives them the joy, and you don't have to be so proud sometimes to take their help and advice. I think the other thing that's like troublesome for me is I've had a great epic run. So really, in that little break that I had, like sometimes you don't realize what you've done, what you've had. You're just so busy grinding.
Of course.
Did you ever think you were gonna have like a hit? I was looking around your agency today. I was like, I wonder if Gary was thinking he was gonna have like agency here in Amsterdam, London. Like that's outrageous.
I did.
I feel the same way, but like now it happened though.
To your point,
Yeah,
to your point, brother. I did, but I'm still grateful as fuck that it happened. As confident as. By the way, I think I'm gonna buy the New York Jets. Forget about this bullshit. Like, I'm going to pull it off.
Yeah.
They need you.
I'm very aware. But when it happens, to your point, brother, even though I truly believe it's sitting here right now, I will pinch the shit out of myself that day. I will cry. I will, God willing, because I think it's going to take me some time. God willing, my parents will be around. It's like.
If not you, then who?
You're allowed to have conviction and confidence and yet still have ridiculous humility and gratitude. That's where people get confused. You can have these polar opposite energies.
I agree.
Sure,
100%.
I have conviction and confidence and bravado, but that doesn't mean that I also don't. I also realize I don't mean shit. Fuck me. If I disappear tomorrow, I'll get a little love on social media for a half a day. People say a little something, and then the world has to move on. And so you can have conviction, but if you don't match it with humility, and I get it, brother, you are an absolute entrepreneurial, especially East Coast legend.
Oh God. It just
Dewey
doesn't
legend,
stop.
too.
I was telling guys outside, like, I wake up in the morning and the bathroom is the last thing I'm thinking of going. Or I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm trying to write all the shit that's going on in this brain down. Because there's so many things you can do. And I try to remind myself, and especially now with not being with the big company with all the bosses, I'm on a highway, Gary, with no red lights. The only speed limit is the one I put on myself.
Just to give everybody some listen as they're
I mean,
listening.
it's crazy.
Brandon obviously built this iconic company. He sold it. He's out of multiple. But what he's talking about is when you're in a corporation, you're going slow as fuck. And then when you let an entrepreneur loose, now he's going fast again. And like, by the way, the reason this agency got so big, and we have 2,000 people globally now. It's big. Jeez. But the reason we're winning is I fight to not be a corporation, even though we are because we have 2,000 people.
Yeah.
We're just a little less than everyone else, and it's like sports.
Yeah.
If you're just a little faster, that shit plays out on that court.
Yeah.
Just a little faster. John Morant's just a little faster than everybody.
I agree with you.
Right? It's like not a lot
Change
more.
of speed,
Just that inch. It's like right. Let's talk basketball since that's a common for us sport.
Yeah.
It's scary how just a little more than everybody else, and it's a completely different game.
Usain
I
Bolt.
always tell people when you're thinking, I'm going to outthink you. When you're working, I'm going to outwork you. And when you're sleeping, I'll outthink you and outwork you. Like, I wouldn't want to compete with me because you're shooting for second place. But what's nice is that when you don't realize when you're in some of these big companies, sometimes it's just a million meetings, a million memos, a million, and it does slow you down to drive you crazy. Yeah. And now I've been, it's funny at 65, like somebody let me out.
65.
So I'm enjoying that freedom. But on the flip side, from a problematic standpoint, balancing that, realizing that you can't do all that. You can't kiss all the girls, so to speak. Like, and picking my favorite project to work with my favorite people. So I'm able to prioritize. But it's tough because all these opportunities come at you. But it's exciting. And you know something? For anybody who's out there who's a little bit older, do not let anybody dictate when you're dreaming and when you have to stop.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Zeddy?
My biggest thing right now, like I would say, balance, like Gro said, having my comedy and the music. Because of both is excelling for me, so like it's a lot going on both sides. But when you get a song like I just dropped and it's doing so well, but the fans still, Zeddy, we want comedy. And I love both, but it's like, I want to work on what's going on right now. Like I want to work on what's going on.
So you right this minute want to lean in deeper into the music.
To the music, right.
But you feel the pressure from the audience and you want to deliver for them.
I want to,
because that's how the fuck you're even sitting here.
Exactly.
So you're trying to strategize of like, fuck, like how do I make sure I don't alienate? By the way, I went through this heavy. The way I popped off back in the day was in 2006 on YouTube. I started making wine videos. And I did it for 5 years, every day. And I was the wine guy.
Right.
And then I wanted to start talking about being who I actually was, which was business. And when I first started making new videos that were not wine, people were not happy. Stay in your lane, wine boy. I'll never forget that quote.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane,
that's tough.
wine boy.
Right.
I've gotten much worse.
That's what this was 10 years ago when people were nicer.
It's like a good thing and a bad thing because it's like wine got you've made so big of a name, they know you for something, but then it's like when you try to get out.
Well, this goes back to this. Honestly, yours is a lot more simple than those two. To me, you have to die on your sword in life. The reason I'm always happy is I have tons of shit that don't go well. It's just that I always make decisions that I want to make.
Right.
Yeah.
The only times in my life that I've been really upset is when I listened against my own intuition to something I perceived was going to give me better advice. A parent, a mentor, someone I looked up to, randomly was just in a... And by the way, I haven't done it a whole lot. I have to go way back in my bank because somewhere pretty quickly, real quickly in my life, I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
If I'm going to lose, I'm losing on my shit. So for you... And even just the way you said it, it felt so obvious to me. You need to go hard on this music kick. And if you wake up in a year and your audience is declining, the music has not popped off, and you realized, fuck, I might have fucked up. I should have went harder on comedy, or I should have done both for a minute. Here's the good news. He's a baby. You're still in the fucking belly.
I'm 22.
You're 22.
I'm 22,
So
baby.
I've never been called a baby yet.
If
Well, that's
you
good.
literally fuck up the next 24 months and you guys are like, damn, we really fuck. We missed our moment. No, you didn't. You didn't fully capitalize on your moment, yet you can change that the next day. The next day.
Yeah.
And so I think for you, if I may, one man's point of view is if that fucking music is pulling at you, just go hard, because here's the problem. If you don't in a year and you're kind of in both, but the music didn't go to where it's want, or you're kind of dreading the comedy and you start resenting the comedy, you're not gonna be in a good place because you knew what you wanted to do, but you didn't. All these fucking people living for the algorithm, bro.
Yeah.
Living for the algorithm, Grills.
I experienced something similar where it's like, I know if I do a video that's like, my son be like, it's going to do really well. I don't find that funny.
Right.
So I have to balance like doing stuff that I think is funny that sometimes isn't going to perform as well.
Right.
But I know if I'm always trying to do what like I know does well, I know what's shareable. Anytime a dad does like dad humor, it does well. But like that's not always what I want to do. So I just try to balance it. I have no idea if it works or not. But for me, like I just don't want to look at something.
Bro, you're gonna win that game. There's so many people right now. Dude, I bring this analogy up, and it came through the other night. I read a lot of DMs, which is always giving me a pulse of the feelings. This dude's like, yo, I really, really, really want to talk about science, but like I'm a trainer, and the only posts that do well is when I take my shirt off and show my abs, and like this is a dude, not like we think about it from the female perspective more often. And I'm like, bro, you're unhappy. Post your science video. I understand it's not going to get 30,000 likes and it's going to get 600, but who gives a fuck?
That's what you
And
want to
also,
do.
eventually, it will. If you keep
that
doing
part.
it, yeah, like
You
eventually.
took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
That was going to be my segue. And it's not sustainable when it's not right for you.
Yeah.
Like it's a losing game. It's why I see so many people losing. They milk the thing that got them there for a year or two after they didn't like it anymore.
And get stuck.
And
Yeah,
the audience can smell it.
Yeah.
If you're not about that life, you're not about... The streets don't fuck with a lot of rappers because they know that the rapper is no longer living that life.
Yeah.
Right.
And some stay there because they're actually in it. The streets, a classic rap term, but it's a macro business term. The streets don't fuck with people because they can smell it when it becomes no longer authentic.
Yeah.
And if you're still doing the shit that always works for you, there's a million... I've sucked for the last year on YouTube. I just don't want to do the things that I know will work better right now.
Yeah.
I'm busy building my company.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm doing this because I need to get back into GaryVee life. The last year, I've been just sitting in this office for 15 hours a day because I'm entrepreneur first, personality.
Because you've been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my view, I follow you like
Working
I
now.
100%.
feel like you've been kind of quiet.
I've been quiet building a fucking foundation for the next chapter, and I'm like incredibly happy about that.
Me too, man. I'm in the same boat.
You know?
I don't need all. If I want credit, I go to the bank. I don't need the attention.
Yeah,
I
to-
love it.
look,
I'm flying right underneath the radar, doing my thing, And I don't really give a shit what anybody else thinks
Brandon,
about it.
I'm already aware that there'll be 2031. I'll be hot again. 2032. I'll be quiet. Like I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about doing good things. There's gonna be ebbs and flows. Listen, I have a 15-year track record. I promise you, I will be one of the fucking people that pops off on whatever the next TikTok is. It's who I am. And I'll be making videos. And because so many people didn't listen to me on TikTok last time, this next time everyone's gonna really go.
I remember when you were saying that.
whatever
I was
you
like,
decide to do, people are going to buy. I wouldn't be in social media at the level I'm at without you.
I remember.
I was completely lost, and somebody in my office was like, you gotta fuck go to guy. I went to see some speech. I was like doing the opening, and you were one of the keynotes.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I'm like, I guess I better start listening. And I'm like, this shit's making sense. And then I got really into my social.
Yep.
Because, again, like, all my friends were like, we're not doing Instagram. We're not doing Facebook. We're not doing this. I'm like, no, I'm doing it.
Back to my Pokemon meets
Oh, this is
Sesame
very
Street.
cool
Here we
shit,
go.
man.
So this is VeeFriends, my Pokemon meets Sesame Street
rip.
brand. I want you to open the pack and look at all 4 cards and tell me which character most resonates for you, and then we'll go around the horn.
Isn't this called a rip? Mr.
Rip.
Steiner, isn't this a rip?
Rip
We're
it.
ripping it?
I did this like 3 weeks ago for the first time ever in my life. I bet.
Here we go. Here we go.
Resonates the most.
Yep.
These are nice.
I'm gonna go. I got mine. All right, Grills.
All right, I'll go with selfless sloth, keeping with the parent vibe. Okay, so I just traveled with a toddler and a baby. It's great, but I have to tell you, breaking down a stroller with people behind you in like a security line, and nobody has patience that you're a parent. No one cares. They just need to go where they're going, is one of the most stressful things. We got through it, but I almost bit someone's head off. Okay. I'm going with selfless sloth.
Because you're leaning into that in your.
I'm leaning into that.
It
I
was
think it's
about
just
you
hot in
your
my
whole
mind
life,
right
and now
now.
these
Yeah.
kids, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think as a parent, your life immediately, and it's, again, the best thing ever, becomes about other people.
Yep.
I think that's a really happy way to live also. I think about John
Agree.
Wooden, where it's like a life that's not lived, in service to others isn't a life worth living. I don't know if that's a quote. I just made that up. You can write that down if you want, because I thought that was pretty good.
Put down the notes.
Did anybody get a foil, or did everybody get just yellow cards?
I got
Just
yellow.
yellow.
Okay.
All yellow.
No foil, so.
Yellow cards.
All right.
So I'm
love
going to go with that. Yeah, and I'm with sloth. I dig sloth, so I'll stick with that.
Brandon?
I don't know why, but I'm liking this brilliant. This guy.
Barracuda?
Yeah.
Oh, Barb.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Barb.
The bar.
I like it.
The fish.
Just happy, ready to roll, just moving right along.
Do you find yourself brilliant?
I find myself at this point now looking back going, Brandon, because I always thought I was not that smart, having, really
Yeah.
struggled to read,
Same.
half illiterate, the whole works. And
still
now I'm
can't
like,
read.
Brandon, that's some pretty smart shit you did.
Good for
And
you.
I give myself a little more
Brandon,
credit.
I got
for
to
you.
interrupt this program. I'm really happy. I really like the relationship you have with yourself. We've hung out a lot. I'm really happy that I feel like you're really getting into a nice place with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when
So
you're
really-
when
yeah.
you're fighting the fight and grinding, trying to get numbers. You don't always get your best self out, and that's what you got to avoid, because it's really all about the relationships and about loving what you do and making sure you love the people at home. So, and I'm very grateful, and my wife keeps me straight, which is my wife was hung in with a lot of my bullshit. So I'm very grateful, and thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
I feel it. It's cool.
You a vibe. You a vibe, Brandon.
Thank you. Yeah,
We
thank
call
you.
it. I'm young. You a vibe.
Thank
you
you,
be
man.
chilling and you happy.
Yeah, thank
Not a
you.
lot of that.
Vibe.
It's not a lot of that.
Vibe Cha-Cha, what do you got?
I got Curious Crane.
Okay.
That's me.
You're curious.
I always want to learn something. I always want to learn something new. I feel like because all my life growing up, I always thought I knew everything. That was one thing my mother always said. You think you know it all? You're a Capricorn.
Because you had conviction,
Probably so.
right? Because I want to break this down.
right.
Because I think it's a strength. But to your point, being a know-it-all and if you have conviction, because you knew yourself, you knew you had it, without humility, right? So the reason they're called VeeFriends is some of them work together. So here is Humble Hummingbird, right? So Humble Hummingbird with conviction cockroach, that's the game. You have conviction, but if somebody says some shit, you have to have the humility to be like, oh fuck, I thought I knew, but I did it.
Right.
Conviction's beautiful.
That's happened a lot.
That's good.
I happened a lot. But yeah, definitely Curious Crane. I'm always learning. I always want to know something new now. Because I feel like I don't know it all. And when I feel like I do know it all, something always goes wrong for me. And I feel like, you got to go through that sometimes. You got to go through humility. But if you're staying curious, I've been doing pretty good.
I'm proud of
doing
you,
pretty
bro.
good.
Were you a good student in high school?
No, I was bad. I was a bad kid. I was a class clown.
Was anybody here a good student? Because I wasn't a good student either.
And now my teachers are calling me, oh my God, my kids love you. They watch this stuff.
From the top.
But I was the
Top.
worst.
Pull it down from the top. The
is that your report card?
The sign, the report card. Grab it. Take that down.
I love that.
Take it
I got a
down.
bunch of passes.
Look at this.
Dude.
Put it in the middle. You want to see some shit? Look at this, girls.
Oh,
Oh my
grades?
goodness, look at that.
Break it down. Tell them. Give them some
right.
some highlights. This is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
Yo, I cannot wait because we probably got the same grades.
Give them some highlights, girls.
You got a C in ceramics, which I'll give you.
How do you get a C in ceramics?
D in English.
That's all that right here.
Algebra 1, D, IPS. I'm not sure what that is.
don't know what that
Irritable bowel syndrome, maybe. You got a C in that. Speech, you got a D.
Hold on.
How's that?
In speech, giving speeches in class,
You
I got a D.
That was my
I am
only
one
A,
of
by the way.
100 most well-compensated public speakers in the world currently, and I got a D in speech. Keep going.
Let's give you some highlights. You got
Give them
an A
German
in-
1 freshman year.
Yeah, German. You got an F. You got an F
That
in
was
German.
that was
F in
9th
German
grade.
1.
Now
Yeah.
on the bottom there, this is 9th grade German. This is 10th grade German. Tell them what I got in German 1 sophomore year.
F again.
Okay, so just so everybody knows, in Jersey, you have to pass. You have to pass.
Should have gone to Spanish.
Language. You have to pass language 2 years in New Jersey to graduate high school.
Same thing.
I come out the gate. Freshman year, I take German because I was born in Russia and thought they would be similar. Like an idiot. F.
Not so-
I run it back on some, fuck that bullshit. I'm coming back. I'm getting a D in this shit. I run it back.
A D.
F. So
No,
then
it's an F,
junior year, I have to go take Spanish 1 with fucking 8th graders as a junior.
Looking
What I
crazy.
get?
Junior in Spanish 1, you got a D. So you passed.
You passed. I got a D for
feeling
one
good?
reason. Big shout out, Senora Kennedy, the only teacher in my life that saw me, called my mom and said, I'm just gonna pass your son. He doesn't even know what hola means.
What all I mean now?
Hello.
I bet.
Yeah.
So no more.
So
What
you
I get in Spanish 2 my senior year?
Spanish 2 senior year, he moved it up to a D, which is
No,
the
double
exact
D's.
same.
2 D's. D's
Yeah,
and
you
D's.
did D.
It's
you
funny. The
double
same
D'd
thing
up.
with me with French. My mother had to come up and beg the teacher to pass
F
me.
and pre-calc.
I couldn't
Look at
learn
my
French.
Class. Check this class rank.
Same thing.
What is my class rank?
Class rank in 4 years, out of 254 students, you are 243rd.
That's cold.
I wonder how many of those.
Yo, that's rough. I wonder how many of those.
How many of the 242? What are they doing?
What are they
now?
doing? Exactly. Yo, 9th grade me, if I was watching this.
Where'd you go to
and
high school?
And I seen that, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's hope. I got hope.
Well, this is why. By the way, I appreciate you saying
That's
this.
hope.
That's literally what I'm. You know who I'm doing it for? Actually, the parents. The
Don't get caught up in this.
The
That's
kids know. The reason we just did that was for the parents that are watching and the ones that are listening at home. I am remarkably happy. Fuck my professional success. My mom built me. I am gloriously happy as a human being. I'm very blessed. I'm clearly professionally successful as well, which is secondary, but still matters. And this was this thought that there's any correlation. And by the way, then when people are on the other side, like, Gary, that's okay, but you're an enigma. No, I'm not an enigma. I'm aware that not everybody reaches my level of happiness and success. But I know unlimited straight A valedictorians that can't, the career students, and they can't pull it off in the real world. I know tons of people. All 4 of us are bad at school. All 4 of us are chopping up right now. Like school is fine and it works. And by the way, it matters for many people and people learn different ways. I just don't think we realize that half the people, don't learn the way this whole system's built. That's half the people.
I would have conversations in like parent-teacher conference, and I'd be like, "Your kid is annoying in my class, but he's also really funny and really personable. So I have to tell you, yes, he's annoying and it's disrupting the class. But and I said it nicer than that. But like, also remind him like that could be the strength that makes him successful in whatever he does after
no
this.
doubt.
Him being personable and coming to my class and smiling puts a smile on my face.
Right.
And while he's at my neck, or I'm at his neck,
But hey, the school you coached at, my mother was smart enough to realize she put me in a pass-fail high school.
Yeah.
So I got caught up in the learning, not worrying about the grades, and ended up going to Syracuse, which is my friends still like,
Cuse.
you're going up the Cuse?
Cuse,
Like, what's
yeah.
going on up there? I'm like,
Is that a SUNY?
I'm going up to Syracuse, never going back. Which is my mother said, look, we're so poor. This is what's outrageous. I have no grades, no money, 760 on my boards combined. I almost got a 0 on the English. I go home, I'm crying like, Mom, like the guidance counselor tells me I shouldn't go to college. I should go to a trade school. I can't use the language. It was so foul that my mother went off. She was going to go up and beat the shit out of the guidance counselor.
Right.
Like, Mom, you can't go up there. She says, I want you to go get that book. I want you to find the most expensive school in New York State. That's who's going to give us the most aid. I said, how are we going to afford it? We got no money. Nobody's going to have the balls that has your grades. Look, you've been working for 10 years. You got to go up and make a sale. Went up to Syracuse, made a sale.
That's amazing.
That's
Isn't that
tough.
crazy?
That's mothers for you though.
Yeah, moms.
My mother mean the
I
most
always
to
say
me.
moms are the most important people in the world.
They mean the most.
And they have the biggest impact. You
Of course,
can't,
it's actually very
it's everything.
commonsensical. You
Yeah.
come out of them.
Facts.
I love when people like try to argue something. Like, let me just make it very.
Yeah.
Let me end this discussion immediately. You were once inside of her.
Right.
You know how insane that is?
Right.
Like we don't think about it because it's just so mundane. Like
yeah.
I'm gonna say it nice and slow. Of course they are.
Yeah.
You were in there.
Yeah.
You
Literally.
Part
this
of
is
the
how-
body,
This
like-
is like the most basic. I don't understand how people understand it. This is how you started. Let me tell you where you all started. In there.
From the womb.
In your mama. Of course they're the most important. It's so funny when people are like, I don't know. I'm like, the music, the influence. Fuck, you think pop culture is more important than the place you came from? You came the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's very basic and true.
Right? Basic is good. This is why I won.
Yeah.
This was all complicated bullshit. By the way, can you just tell everybody the only A's I got in all 4 of my
I cannot
years
wait.
of
You
high
got an
school?
A?
You have an
I did.
A on
Freshman
phys
year?
ed. Phys ed. You
Okay,
have a
Gym
J.
class A, freshman year,
Phys
second
ed
year.
again. I'm not sure what Northwest World is, but you got to be in it. Is that history?
History.
Okay,
History
that's
was
cool.
the one thing I listened to.
Did you have a cool teacher that told fun stories or
yeah,
no?
we had good teachers
Okay.
everywhere and bad teachers. It was just that I never knew why I was good in history until I got older. I use history to tell me the future.
Smart.
Yeah.
Everything old is new again.
And so it's I didn't realize it was my obsession with pattern recognition and human behavior. Like why was there a World War? Why did we go to Vietnam? The why. So A in gym, freshman, sophomore, junior year. My only A was
Junior
in.
phys ed again.
Nah,
And
was-
then
was
you got 2. You got health and phys ed.
Yeah, you was a gym legend. I ain't gonna lie. You
Yeah.
was a
Bro, I was a
gym
gym.
Hall of
You know what I
Famer.
was? You know what we called me? A gym class hero.
Yeah.
I would go to gym class like it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. People were like warming up. I'm like, I'm trying to kill people. Like it was the most important thing for me in the world like I don't know how to not compete.
Yeah.
Like they're like, all right, gym class, we're gonna play. I'm like, I'm trying to kill you.
Yeah. And that's when you could play fun games like dodgeball. I feel like
Yeah.
you can't even play that now because like people get, you can't hurt
play
someone.
dodgeball?
Hit me in my head.
Oh, you don't play dodgeball? Yeah, I know.
Hit me in my head.
And we used to play dodgeball with the rubber balls that like bounce off you, not the like foam
Not the
ones.
foam ones. Yeah, we did the foam ones.
What has been the thing this year where by the way, 8% of 2024 is over.
Jeez.
Just to get the people that need a little motivation, it really fucks with me. Yeah, right? Didn't that hit you? It's fucked up when you say it that way, right?
Damn, I ain't gonna lie.
Right?
Shit went fast.
8% is over already.
In February.
It's 8%.
January was the longest
So
year ever.
8%. But on that note, 2024 is here now. What has been the thing you've seen in the last month that's been interesting? A person, a trend, an app, a brand, anything in the first month of the year. And by the way, if you want to go back a couple months to the end of last year, in the last 100 days or so, what's caught your attention? Give it some thought. Anything that's caught your attention, a person, a trend, a movement, anything. What has caught your attention in the game called pop culture?
I already know one who's a creator. I'll go with the creator since
Okay.
I guess that's what I am. There's this girl, Veronica is cool. Big
Yep.
shout out.
Yep.
Is just the funniest person. I got on her early. Like she had probably 60,000 followers on TikTok. She has been blowing up the past 2 or 3 months, I'd say. It is just one of the funniest, most creative and weird and hilarious comedic skit people I've seen. Just like, when you watch something and it's so funny to you that you can't even laugh because your mouth is open, you're like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of funny she is. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've
Good
been
luck.
digging her stuff.
I'm glad you gave her some flowers. She's crushing. Brandon?
You know what's interesting to me is I just people are dying to get out. I just you go to any event, any concert. I've done Q&As. I haven't done it in a while because I want to bring experientials back because that's what my customers are asking. I said, I don't know, people are gonna come out. I'm like, just did like a quick Aaron Boone Q&A. The manager of the Yankees sold out in 15 minutes. People want to get out. They want to get back to meeting people, getting around people, which is very promising. And I think that trend's going to be strong. I mean, you go to most concerts, games, packed. So people want to get out, and if you're out there, you have the ability to create situations for people to get out. It's good. And having your people go back to work is that's another issue. I've been in the office every day with my staff, but there's the hybrid thing. I'm a fan of it. Maybe you're going to work 3-4 days at least, but I think you're doing a disservice to yourself. I realize some people can work great from home, but I think getting in the office is healthy, and you shouldn't avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being in your home by yourself 24/7 is just like, it's got some things. I agree with you. The real life stuff is very obvious to me as well. Yeah. The real life experiential, real life events. It's happening.
I think the most thing I've seen is kind of wild to me is Snapchat.
Okay.
And I don't think y'all know, Snapchat now is different than when it was. Like now, people got these gold stars and they're posting their life all day long. Like you get paid for Snapchat. The vlogging. But like if I'm seeing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on Snap, and I'm able to see all the behind the scene of his life. And then, I'm having this talk with the Snapchat reps and stuff, and they're like, you get a whole different fan base on the Snapchat
100%.
side. I didn't know that. I'm a big TikTok, Instagram guy, so.
Where are you with YouTube Shorts?
I am. My man's always telling me, you gotta post on YouTube Shorts. I didn't know how big of a thing that was. Like, bro, I'm getting into it.
You need to do everything.
That's what I'm trying to get into.
This is the point. The book before we went live, when you talk about jab, jab, right hook, the book I wrote, that was like, here are the platforms that matter. Here's the content that's working. So I have
don't overthink it.
I have a new book coming out called Day Trading Attention. And I mean, someone like you, by the way, you know where your shit would go crazy?
Where?
Facebook.
Yup.
I know.
You're the fourth person that didn't tell me that.
My shit goes crazy on Facebook. I'm like some old geezer.
Well, of course your shit goes crazy.
I'm saying, but like,
you're a fucking heartthrob to those 80-year-old fucking women on
like,
there. They're like, this young boy is amazing.
I'm all over his shit. I've been checking out all your Instagram right there. People going crazy, but that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Bro, the number one thing you need to do out of this podcast is go home and realize, okay, I've been bullshitting. I need to do YouTube Shorts proper. I'm real proud of you because Snap is the one that everybody misses.
I've been killing it.
Snap is real shit. Snap. YouTube Shorts is incredibly. YouTube Shorts is TikTok, but you won't get as much reach up front, but long term because people search, and then it leads to your main channel. That is like oxygen.
I gotta go.
I just didn't.
Shit.
And Facebook. First of all, a couple things that people don't realize: the amount of 20 to 30-year-olds that are on Facebook still. They're not going 18 hours a day like they're on TikTok, but they're going. But nobody contemporary is making shit for it. So it's the same shit as Snap. All this is day trading attention. Where's there more attention than people that are good making content? There's the arbitrage. The reason I went crazy about TikTok 5 years ago was I was on it when it was Musical.ly. And I was just waiting and waiting. And then there was a tipping point 2 years before COVID where I was like, oh, fuck, it's there. And so I got loud because I was winning, but I wanted other people to win. And so that's what's always going on. I mean, that is imperative. And then finally live streaming.
Twitch.
Bro, Twitch. And even better than Twitch, actually, because Twitch is hard. Like, I only have 500 people watching right now. You have to build up over time. I've got to earn it. It's going to be a grind. TikTok Live puts you into fucking people's feeds while you're on. So on Instagram, you go on, it pings all your users, and a certain percentage comes over, and then it declines. So you know, depending on your audience side, for me, it's like 2,000 come on right away, and then 5 minutes later, if I'm yapping, I look up in the corner, it's 800. It declines because my crew gets pinged, they check it out, they're like, I don't give a fuck what Gary's doing, they're out. TikTok, you go on. It pings.
It's on 40 pages.
And that's right. And so you look over, there's 600, and then you look an hour later, you weren't even doing anything proper, and there's 4,000 people there. Because they keep, so, and here's the big thing I'm saying to you three, and obviously I'm saying it for everyone at home who's watching live now and who's listening on the podcast in the next weeks or a year from now. The key is to day trade attention. When something's there, you gotta squeeze it because it's not always there. All those fuckers didn't jump to TikTok when I was saying it because they had a nice little gig on Instagram and they were nice and cozy getting their 1,000 likes there and they felt good about their self-esteem because on TikTok they had no followers. The problem was once the attention moved, winning on Instagram now is hard. Supply and demand. The end. Heard?
Yes.
You right now in this hot moment, are you fucking kidding me? YouTube Shorts, Facebook,
chat said something new. Instagram Reels.
Yeah, Reels are great, but
Reels are
it's
great.
listen, this is what I do for a living. I'm not even going by my content. This company spends billions of dollars in advertising and makes millions of pieces of ads a year. Like I can see the whole. It's not. I'm in it, and I'm that guy. I'm proud of how good I am at it, but I have much more data than everybody.
Yeah.
Like this is like Instagram's great. It's harder. If you do the same effort on Instagram that you would do on Facebook, Snap, YouTube Shorts, or TikTok, you will get more on all 4 of those than Instagram. Instagram is the established social network right now.
Yeah.
Not like unbelievable amounts of content put on Instagram with a heavy percentage. Every minute that somebody spends on TikTok today was an Instagram minute 5 years ago.
It's fair.
Gary, do you think that's why like it seems like Instagram is more valuable if you have a large you can have if you have like I'll put it this way. I know people who have a million followers on TikTok and aren't really monetized.
Yeah.
If you have 1 million followers on Instagram, you're caked.
Different ballgame.
When you say monetize ads from the platform,
I just mean they're not getting a lot of brand deals. Yeah, they're not getting and so like how come
That's because the decision makers in corporations are behind the times.
Yeah. So not a million followers isn't as valuable to brands as 500,000 Instagram followers.
For another 24 months, and then it will flip.
Yeah.
The problem is go get 1 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
No way.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard.
TikTok, you can get one in a month.
You're close,
I done did it in a
aren't
month.
you? Yeah.
I'm at 500K, 550,
Now,
I think.
he could decide
me.
he wants to, and if he did, and then took his then you're trading your own attention. If
Yeah.
he wanted to get to 1 million, he could.
Yeah.
He would just decide for the next 3 weeks to go ham on TikTok and push everyone to Instagram. Maybe do a contest. Everybody follow me there. I'm going to pick 3 of you and have dinner tonight in the city.
Right.
Guess what? That 550 will be 730 tonight.
Yeah.
Facts.
But he might not want to because followers aren't the same anymore. The social media I grew up with was email marketing.
Yeah.
You would get 1 million followers and then 35% of a certain percentage of them would see it. Now, there's people, I got 15 million followers on TikTok. There's people on their first post getting more views on that video than me because the content is the variable, not how many followers you have.
Yeah.
All of us stopped following people because the algorithm sends it to us.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, I like this GaryVee stuff, but like, they're like, I'll see it again. Like, you don't think the way we did 6 years ago and you follow. This is a real fucking game.
It's about how many likes you have on your TikTok
Engagement,
page.
and not even likes.
Comments.
It all changes.
Or like I'm just
Watch time.
Nope.
Yeah, watch time.
shares.
Yeah,
Right now
yeah.
on Instagram, it's
Shares,
shares. This is what I like. This is what I spent on. Like shares is the call to action there.
Yeah.
So it just. And by the way, and in 3 months, Instagram might want something else to be the thing, and TikTok this. So this is real fucking shit.
Yeah.
All right, going back around the other way. As a kid, let's give some flowers. Who was your idol as a kid, or who was? If you can think of one person that you just thought was the fucking greatest, I'll go first. Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly from the New York Yankees, first baseman. The Yankees sucked in my era. The 80s, the Yankees were bad.
Yeah.
Donnie Baseball.
Donnie Baseball.
Going to be with him on Sunday.
I love him. Please send him my love.
By
the way,
should I be
as-
dialing you? Should I dial you up when I'm with him?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to
should.
do a card? I don't think
He's
you did
the
a card.
best.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Thank you.
facts.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Keep you
Sit on top
around.
of you.
Come back. Protective Panther. I'll tell you why. I've had a great first month of the year. My sister and I are communicating via text and calls and FaceTime so much in the first month compared to like even the last 7 years.
I follow her on Instagram.
We always chop it up and we're very, very close. But I feel like we're like, it's really nice. Like I would say we're very close, but I think like this month has been remarkable. Like we're just locked in. You know how it is, right? With relationships. So I'm feeling great about it, but it was funny when I looked at the cards, it tapped into a feeling. I was so protective of my sister growing up because I was an 80s kid and you went outside.
Yeah.
And I was going outside when I was 8. She was 5 and we were outside and mom, don't get mad, but my mom didn't know where the fuck we were. It was the 80s. Nobody knew what the
There
fuck.
was no problem.
Parents are all freaked out on this. When I was 9 years old, my mom had no fucking clue where I was and I was outside.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Also, it was outside. It was outside,
Outside, bro. And by the way, outside when I was 9. In 1984, meant we were on the railroad tracks on some Stand By Me shit.
Doing some dangerous
We were
shit.
fucking hitting. We used to have a game called Sticks, where any one of us, this 10 kids, is our crew, we'd be like, Sticks. You know what it meant? You need to pick up a stick and hit each other.
This is what happens when there's no phones. There's just fine shit to
Can't
get
record
into.
it either. It's just, you just
Crossing,
if you ain't
running
tell us, we
across
wouldn't
the
know.
street, fucking cars whizzing by on some like we were like little kid Frogger. Like it was So anyway,
Crossy road.
because of that though, your instincts. I was protecting my sister constantly. I thought I was grown at 11 and she was 8. I got to take care of her. And so Protective Panther hit me in this pack of like, I loved being protective. I learned how to be a leader because of my sister. I was built for who I ended up becoming because I got the training in the trenches for my sister.
And now you're reconnected.
I want to paint a very clear
New
picture.
connection.
I just feel like for the first time in a long time, we have a great connection. I have an amazing relationship with my sister consistently. It feels like it leveled up for some reason, and it's so fun for me. Like it feels so warm and homey and amazing and delicious and the best.
I'd like to feel like 5 years ago or something, or maybe 3 years ago, you were like, follow. If
My
I ever
sister.
gave you
Yep.
a value, follow her, and I shot her follow. So
Thank you.
I see all her real estate stuff. She's
if
killing
you
it.
want to buy a house in Jersey, hit up Liz Novello.
Liz Novello.
Liz
yeah.
Novello.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Mine,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I love Jim Carrey as a kid. I still
amazing.
do to this day. I just feel like he was so himself. That's one of the people I idolize. Like when it comes to telling my fans and telling people who know me, I like being myself. I like
By the way,
being who
I
am.
apologize, my brother. Cade91671 says, I don't fuck with Gen X. I just want to talk about this for a half a second, if I may.
Got you.
The world is very bad at something. It's called, we have found more and more ways to not like each other,
Facts.
Agree.
right? Religion is well documented. It's been a problem for 10,000 years. Race, well documented. Gender, unfortunately, boys versus girls, it ebbs and flows, but not well documented. We have done such a good job, and that's me saying we've done a bad job. We have allowed 8 billion humans on Earth to continuously find things on gender, race, income level, country. I'm American, Italy, hate Spain, country. And the fact that we have now crossed over into another one, which is called generational hate. The fact that boomers hate Gen Z and Gen Z hates Gen X, and the fact that a human would type, I don't fuck with Gen X. By the way, I'm in Gen X. We don't even get talked about. I'm just pumped to even mention Gen X. It's millennials, boomers, Gen Z. I don't even know if people know Gen X exists.
I
But
didn't even know what Gen X was, honestly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fact that we're in this place where we are continuously looking to find another thing to hate each other about drives me fucking crazy.
Corny.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's corny.
Stupid.
The whole thing fucking sucks. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, Jim Carrey, he just saw himself, and I used to still to this day, I try to find ways to look up Jim Carrey interviews because I just want to see him talk. I want to see the things, like, how did he grow up? How was his relationship with his family? Like, he's just, from Ace Ventura, my favorite movie is The Mask, from The Grinch, like, I just love Jim Carrey, and it was always awkward to my mom. She was like, Jim Carrey? Like, you love Jim Carrey like that? And even now, I get on interviews and they say,
Legend.
who's someone you love? I love Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's the man.
That's cool.
Brandon?
Well,
Abraham Lincoln?
I was really lost, and I didn't have a dad and all that stuff. And I go to this summer camp to work, and I was a dishwasher. And I went to this guy, Alzy Jackson. He's a big black man, very large. And I said to him, Alzy, I hear you have like this training program. Do you think I could train? He goes, and he's, white boy, you can sharpen my knives, and we'll see how that goes. So every morning I go, I'm there, crack of dawn, I'm sharpening the guy's knives. At some point, after about 2 weeks, he's like, stay away from my knives. There's going to be no knives
good at
left. There's going to be no knives left because I was just sharpening them all day. And he took me under his wing and actually taught me how to cook. And, he was just incredible, like a dad to me. Just taught me everything, told me the truth. I'm like the opposite about whatever that person was talking about with Gen Z. Like, this guy took me under his wing, told me the truth, told me all the things I needed to know and learn about.
How old were you?
Started at about 16.
Amazing.
And this guy, besides teaching me how to cook soups, he just worked for Campbell. He was a hat maker. But this guy, I'll just tell you a quick story. This
Please, it's
guy,
amazing.
we were making Chinese food one day. Me and this guy, Satch. Everybody had a nickname growing up. So
course.
we're cooking this Chinese food, fried rice. Our balls are on fire. The ovens are right underneath. And we get in at 5:30 in the morning cooking. So this was an easy meal. We cooked everything in the morning. Afternoon, we'd take a few hours off, come back for dinner. So we get off of work. It's like 100 degrees out. We're just killing ourselves. Go get a beer. We go back to the room. We have like an hour left. We have to go back, and we take a little nap. Satch comes running in my room, going, wake up, wake up. Like, there was a fire. He goes, we missed dinner. It's 10 to 7. The help ate at 5:15. The camp ate at 6 o'clock. We go in the kitchen, and we start yelling and screaming. Pots are throwing. I'm going around the kitchen saying, you let us sleep through the meal? Your future in this kitchen is uncertain. I mean, you may not make it. I don't even know if you're going to make the summer. And he's like, my buddy Satch is like, you black, you man, you're the. So at some point, Ozzy had enough. He calls the steward to get us out of the kitchen because we're creating a ruckus. Pots are flying, and we're like dead serious. And Satch is physically getting removed from the kitchen with 2 people. He won't leave because the guys let us sleep through. So on the way out, I'm near the door and I go, Ozzy, why don't you wake us? And he just gives me this grin. He goes, I just thought I'd give you the night off. And I think about it, it's like we're 17 years old, working 100 some hours a week, and we're pissed off because he gave us the night off. Yeah. And that's the kind of pride, like that's what he instilled. People say, where do you get your work ethic from, Mike? I'm like,
that's a beautiful
it's unbelievable, man, right?
Stuff.
And you don't know. Cool. I believe that people are placed in your life to kind of guide you.
Right.
And to run into him, and then and I never would have gone to college. It wasn't for him.
It's amazing.
Never, no way. He's like, you got to go to college and explain how to do it, how it all worked. So you're very, very fortunate.
I love that.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, I think I've had like different heroes at different stages of life,
Makes
like
sense.
different things I've been doing. Obviously, I had great parents growing up, so
It's awesome.
and great friends, friends' parents that were really, really pivotal in my life too. Professionally, I really, really looked up to Jay Wright as a coach.
I love Jay.
Jay Wright.
Jay Wright was the coach of Villanova. Okay. Yeah, he won 2 national championships.
As a Knicks fan, we're basically Villanova.
We're Villanova.
Now.
I'm a Knicks guy too. So
there we go, man. Yeah.
Jalen Brunson went to my high. I should say I went to his high school. Now he was after me though. But yeah. So professionally, him now like comedy wise, I'm a big Adam Sandler fan. Legend. I feel like the world just needs a movie that's just like a feel good. He's going to win the golf championship at the end. To just give us Happy Gilmore. Yeah. Like, why is everything so complicated nowadays? So yeah.
Because in life we find what we look for.
Yeah.
And we've just decided to start looking for the negative. Meanwhile, the world is unlimited positive.
Yeah.
It's everywhere around you.
Yeah.
The problem is humans see what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It's just the biggest truth.
Yeah.
This is something I'm so passionate about, brother.
Yeah.
If you decide to look for positivity, there's unlimited positivity everywhere.
Facts. Good vibes everywhere.
I think even in comments, like you and I experience it, and Gary, you too, and I'm sure you being on the internet, it's like you'll get hate comments. Of course. Like, I mean, I didn't even know I had a weird neck until I got on the internet. I was like, I guess I have a weird neck.
Right.
And weird teeth.
It looks like
I think I have a long neck. I think it's just
looks
long.
athletic.
Yeah,
good. I like your neck.
I mean, I've been putting on some weight. You know what I mean?
Bro, you look like that's good. It looks like you take a shot to the face.
Thanks, man.
I wish I had that neck.
But I think it's more just kind of like the mouth melts into the. There's not much.
I wish I could do what?
Yeah, that seems like you could do something crazy.
That's amazing.
So that looks like it's good content.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I basically do that in every video.
Let me just get that.
I basically just do this and breathe in my videos.
You won,
That's
bro.
like
Jay Wright was random though. I didn't see that coming.
I think I just
Jay Wright was awesome.
I'll give a really quick story. I went to go see a practice when I was coaching at York. I was able to get in and see a practice at Jay Wright.
He was coaching.
Yeah, I was coaching basketball, and he was able to hold a kid accountable, a 5-star recruit. He was able to hold this kid accountable without screaming. And I was like a young coach, and I was like, I was a screamer. I was like, tough kids. I was in Brooklyn. I was in Dewey. Dewey, we're walking through metal detectors. So I was like, I'm not the fucking one.
Get your ass over there.
I think I'm Coach Carter or whatever it is. Right. And you realize that like you don't need. I just learned such a valuable lesson.
I apologize. Do you know the only time I was ever universally booed on stage, because I've had a very good public speaking career, was at the height of his popularity at South by Southwest. I said, "Fuck Steve Jobs. I never want to be like him." And people were booed
crazy, really.
And I said, "Let me explain myself." I'm like, all of you in Silicon Valley now are being mean to employees because the stories are out that he's tough and not nice.
It's corny.
And all of you are trying to be not nice.
Yeah.
And I was trying to set the tone for who I am now.
Yeah.
Even back then, of like, I believe who you are as a person, how people talk about you behind your back
is important.
Is way important.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how much money you made. Fuck you. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Do you know how many rich people die and 3 people show up to their funeral?
Yeah.
You think that's a good life? The fuck's the matter with people?
Right.
The fuck are we spitting hate for? You hating someone? When people leave negative comments on my account, I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Especially
bad
when they're
for me.
fathers.
Gary,
You
Gary.
imagine living life going around trying to make other people feel bad?
Dude, and their
Gary.
fathers.
Your shit's not funny.
Gary.
I mean,
Okay.
I apologize.
Move on,
3 minutes
Pop.
late already. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I want to tell you one quick thing.
One
quick thing.
One.
Ask permission before you kill somebody to let them know what your intent is.
Yeah.
That you're gonna, you want them to be great, and it's not personal. So if I kill you, it's just to make you better, and have that in a really normal conversation. It's unbelievable how many employees now say it's okay. You can get crazy with me, but I'm asking you permission to do it.
Yeah.
So this way, when I'm doing it,
And honestly,
they
I'm in the
understand where
Jay
I'm coming
Wright
from.
school. Like to me, you guys know this. Dustin, we've been together how long? 5.5 years. You've filmed me constantly. How many times have you seen me yell at someone? Why? You can
the
get
point?
this
Yeah,
for
don't need to.
what?
Yeah.
And I get it. We've all got. My father yelled at at everyone.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just. And by the way, that's beautiful. Like, hey, but like it has no positive effect.
Yeah.
Like that's you're unhappy.
Yeah.
That's your own weakness. That's you reflecting. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you for being on
Thank
the
you for
show.
having
So much.
Thank
man.
you, brother.
This was really, really awesome.
Keep on, Brandon. I
Thank
love
you so
bro.
much.
Thanks, Cross. Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Love you.